Not every Hollywood classic was an overnight triumph. Some of the most celebrated films in cinematic history started their journeys as box office disasters, dismissed by critics and overlooked by audiences. But as time passed, these very films defied the odds, rising to become timeless masterpieces that left an indelible mark on pop culture. Curious to uncover their fascinating stories? Let's explore 13 iconic movies that began as flops, yet earned their legendary status over time. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, 2010. How does a movie brimming with style, humor, and innovation fail to make waves at the box office? That's the bittersweet tale of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Despite its cult classic reputation today, the film stumbled with a global gross of just $47.6 million against a hefty $60 million budget, leaving a $12.4 million hole, and that's before marketing and distribution costs. Michael Cera, the film's star, blamed fierce competition from heavyweights like The Expendables and Eat, Pray, Love. He also suggested the movie's genre-blending brilliance might have been too ahead of its time. But fast forward a decade, and audiences have embraced its unique charm. The film's 10th anniversary re-release earned an additional $4 million, proving it was never a failure, just misunderstood. Mulholland Drive, 2001. David Lynch's Mulholland Drive is a cinematic puzzle, intriguing, baffling, and haunting. Yet, this critically adored thriller earned just $20.1 million at the box office on a $15 million budget, likely tipping into loss when factoring in marketing. Its abstract, non-linear storytelling left many viewers scratching their heads. However, as the years rolled by, its brilliance became undeniable. Today, it's hailed as a masterpiece. In fact, the BBC crowned it the best film of the 21st century in 2016. Sometimes the greatest art takes time to be truly appreciated. Fight Club, 1999. You're not your box office numbers. That could very well be the mantra of David Fincher's Fight Club. Earning $100.8 million worldwide on a $63 million budget, the film barely turned a profit after accounting for marketing and distribution. Edward Norton later criticized 20th Century Fox for failing to market its dark humor effectively. Yet over time, Fight Club became a cultural phenomenon, beloved for its audacious themes and razor-sharp dialogue. With astronomical DVD sales and TV syndication, this once underwhelming thriller punched its way to immortality. The Big Lebowski, 1998. How does a movie spawn its own religion, yet struggle to make money? That's the paradox of The Big Lebowski. Earning $47.4 million globally on a $15 million budget, it delivered a modest profit that shrank under the weight of promotional costs. But profits don't define legacy. Today, The Big Lebowski isn't just a movie, it's a lifestyle. With over 600,000 ordained priests in the religion of Dudism, this quirky comedy continues to inspire fans worldwide. The Shawshank Redemption, 1994. Get busy living or get busy dying. Unfortunately, The Shawshank Redemption struggled to get busy at the box office, grossing only $28.7 million on a $25 million budget. It faced stiff competition from juggernauts like Forrest Gump and Pulp Fiction. However, its critical acclaim and 7 Oscar nominations ignited a second life in home video markets. Becoming the most rented title of 1995, Shawshank climbed its way into the hearts of movie lovers, proving that true greatness doesn't rely on a flashy opening weekend. Hocus Pocus, 1993. A Halloween without Hocus Pocus? Unthinkable. Yet this beloved spooky classic grossed just $39.5 million against a $28 million budget upon release, making it a financial disappointment. Critics were unimpressed, and audiences were lukewarm. But as years passed, Hocus Pocus found its audience, becoming a seasonal tradition. With a sequel in 2022 and streaming platforms reporting record viewership, this family-friendly gem finally got the recognition it deserved. Labyrinth, 1986. David Bowie as the enigmatic Goblin King couldn't save Labyrinth from tanking at the box office. Earning only $12.9 million on a $25 million budget, the film was labelled a major flop. But time works wonders. Bowie's magnetic performance and Jim Henson's imaginative storytelling turned Labyrinth into a cult phenomenon. Its legacy is now etched in 80s pop culture. The Thing, 1982. Even horror maestro John Carpenter couldn't save The Thing from icy reception in 1982. Released in the shadow of E.T. and Poltergeist, this chilling thriller earned just $20.6 million on a $15 million budget. But as years passed, the film's groundbreaking practical effects and tension-filled narrative gained a loyal following. Today it stands tall as a sci-fi horror benchmark. Blade Runner, 1982. Ridley Scott's Blade Runner was ahead of its time, so much so that audiences in 1982 weren't ready for it. Grossing $27.6 million on a $28 million budget, it failed to impress critics or viewers initially. Yet its stunning visuals and philosophical depth have made it a sci-fi cornerstone. Multiple re-releases, including a fan-favorite director's cut, solidified it as a masterpiece. Raging Bull, 1980. Martin Scorsese's Raging Bull is now revered as one of the greatest films ever made, but its initial box office was far from legendary. With $23.3 million against an $18 million budget, its numbers were underwhelming. Still, De Niro's transformative performance and Scorsese's raw storytelling have cemented Raging Bull as a timeless cinematic achievement. Citizen Kane, 1942. How could a film considered the greatest of all time be a box office flop? Citizen Kane earned just $51,000 during its initial run on a budget of $839,727. But as generations revisited Orson Welles' groundbreaking work, its genius became evident. Today, Citizen Kane is essential viewing for any serious cinephile. Bambi, 1942. Released during the turmoil of World War II, Disney's Bambi faced significant international box office challenges. It grossed $3 million on an $858,000 budget, a respectable figure but modest by Disney standards. Over the decades, however, Bambi has become one of the most cherished animated films ever, its legacy spanning generations. The Wizard of Oz, 1939. The first ever Technicolor film flopped? Hard to believe, but The Wizard of Oz earned only $3 million against a $2.7 million budget, struggling to compete with hits like Gone with the Wind. However, its enchanting story, unforgettable songs, and vibrant visuals eventually captured hearts worldwide. Today, The Wizard of Oz is a cultural icon. These films teach us one thing: failure isn't the end. Many legendary classics were initially dismissed, but found their place in history. So next time you hear about a box office flop, remember, it might just be the next great masterpiece.